What's going on, everyone? It's Sunny So Sovereign. I'm happy to be back. Today, we're going to go over Chapter 4 of Money Matters, a quick overview of what we went through in Chapter 3, the dark side of fiat currency, where we went over some concepts such as inflation, debasement, and loss of purchasing power. We talked about these concepts through a quick story, a story between a grandfather and his young adult son, where they talked about the cost of living and the differences between cost of living between those two eras. So today, I highly recommend for you guys to go check that out. That was Chapter 3. Again, the dark side of fiat currency. Today, we're going to go over Chapter 4, where we're going to go over centralized versus decentralized monetary infrastructures. So without further ado, Chapter 4. As governments and central banks continue to promote the transition to a cashless society, it's essential to consider the potential trade-offs and unintended consequences for individuals and society as a whole. Abuse of centralization. Centralization of power often leads to corruption, resulting in the mismanagement of resources, including financial resources. This can disproportionately affect those lower in the hierarchy, causing them to bear the greatest burden of the consequences. A centralized system can be thought of as a tree with a single trunk, representing the central authority or point of control, and the branches representing the various parts of the system controlled by the central authority. In this analogy, if the trunk is damaged or diseased, all the branches are doomed because they rely on the trunk for support. Drawbacks of centralized systems include vulnerability. A centralized system relies on a single point, so if that point fails, the whole system can fail. Control and power. Those in control of centralized systems have significant power and influence over how they work. Inefficiencies and intermediaries. Centralized systems often use intermediaries, which can slow processes and add extra costs. Lack of autonomy. People may not be able to make their own financial decisions. Censorship and restriction. There is a risk of being blocked or restricted from accessing certain financial resources. Scaling challenges. Centralized systems may struggle to keep up with increasing demand for financial services and resources. Security risk. Centralized systems can have weaknesses that hackers can exploit. Lack of transparency and trust. It can be hard to understand how centralized systems work, making it difficult to make informed decisions. Now we're going to go over counting the middleman. A look at the intermediaries in a credit card transaction. Modern banking might seem simple, but even a straightforward transaction like buying a hamburger with a credit card involves numerous intermediaries. Here's the breakdown. A cardholder presents a credit card to the merchant. The merchant sends the transaction details to its payment processor. The payment processor relays the transaction data to the card network. The card network sends an authorization request to the issuing bank. The issuing bank checks for the available funds and sends its response, approved or declined, back through the chain. When you order a hamburger with your Citi MasterCard, the transactions involves McDonald's, the payment processor, MasterCard, and Citibank, with each entity taking a cut. These hidden fees are ultimately borne by the consumer. The modern banking world comes with risk, including accidental double swipes, credit card fraud, human and computer errors, and potential hacks. Decentralized systems, on the other hand, can be thought of as a forest where each tree represents an independent participant. The forest is more resilient because it does not rely on a single point of failure. If one tree is damaged, the rest of the forest can contribute to thrive. Advantages of decentralized systems include resilience, more reliable because there is no single point of failure; security, more secure with proper encryption because there is no central point of control to target; sovereignty, Individuals have more control and autonomy over their assets and decisions. Transparency. All nodes have access to the same information. Permissionless. Anyone can join or participate without needing permission from a central authority. Limitless. No predetermined limit on the number of nodes. Equality. Each node has equal opportunities to contribute and influence the network. Privacy. Participants can use pseudonyms to protect their privacy. However, decentralized systems also have challenges, such as the need for all connected devices to agree and work together, and risk from malicious nodes. Transactions are just agreements to trade. On the decentralized Micronesian island of Yap, people use rhinestones as currency. These giant stones are scarce, making them a reliable store of value. Transactions are based on a oral history and trust, with people keeping track of ownership without a centralized authority. This system works well in a small group, but can become complex as the group size increases. Blockchain technology offers a solution by providing a decentralized ledger that records transactions in a transparent and immutable way. Let's swap trust for rules. In a blockchain system, participants have a shared digital ledger that records all transactions. This system operates on clear, transparent rules agreed upon by all participants, ensuring accuracy and preventing cheating. Blockchain is like a history book where each page or block contains a list of transactions. Miners validate and add new pages to the book, creating a permanent record. This decentralized system provides a more secure and reliable method of recording, keeping compared to traditional centralized databases. Blockchain technology revolutionizes trade and finance by streamlining transactions, making them faster, safer, and more efficient. It creates an immutable ledger that supports decentralized, trustless form of money. To understand the blockchain, we need to understand Bitcoin as a whole. This is where we're gonna go to chapter 5, unveiling the future of money, an introduction to Bitcoin. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed chapter 4. It was pretty quick. Quiz coming soon. Stay tuned. I'm Sunny So Sovereign. I'm out.